Hey guys, and welcome back to another semi-formal video essay. Now, just pretend that this essay came before the Isayama one, okay? Because the Isayama one was supposed to be my last video. So just pretend that, ooh, this is a late release. So today I'm going to talk about what being a Jaegerist actually is, because there seems to be some misconception. So I just wanted to kind of give you my point of view where I think the majority of Jaegerists can agree that this definition or this description of a Jaegerist that I'm about to give is what it actually is, as opposed to some of the, views that are out there. So let's get into it. What is a Jaegerist? Jaegerism, the ideology as it pertains to Attack on Titan. So, first and foremost, I just want to say that I do not navigate the world like, yes, I'm a feminist, I'm a socialist, and I'm a Jaegerist. I don't rep that outside of the context of Attack on Titan, okay? Before I can dive headfirst into telling you what my perception of a Jaegerist is in this fandom, and what I feel like the majority of us Jaegerists can agree to, first, I feel obligated to give an assessment of Eren's character, because some people will assume that we never understood it, right? But I'll get more into that later. Eren's character, I would say, is separated in three concise arcs. This first arc of Eren's character I'd like to call Special Eren, and stay with me, you'll see why. So we have this protective, insecure, I say he's insecure because he doesn't like how strong Mikasa is compared to himself. He refuses her help when it's strength related, etc. He's bratty, I think that's age related. He's extremely reactive and emotional, right? His emotions are right there, and his anger is so easily accessible. Right, this is Kid Eren. Someone says something he disagrees with, he slaps them on the head, right? He's angry, he's hot-headed, and he rushes into messes without thinking. Ever since the beginning, right, from this young age, this Eren didn't like the idea of being trapped within the walls. He said it made him feel like cattle, right? This is directly conflicting with him feeling free. If you feel like cattle, that means you feel like you're not free, right? So, it isn't until after his mom dies because of the Titan where this is where he develops his hatred not only for the walls that keep him entrapped, but also the Titans now. They keep him entrapped too, and they took something from him. So now in little Eren's eyes, it's the walls and the Titans that are the oppressors. Because the walls directly stand in the way of his freedom, and what's outside the walls, the Titans, they took something from him. They took freedom from his mother, right, her life, and they took something from Eren, his mother. Thus, he hates them both. So, throughout his soldier training, he learns to keep some of his anger and hot-headedness down, along with growing up naturally, But most of that is still relevant to his character. We see it really get chiseled down after the court scene. I think this is one of the biggest moments where he realizes, hey, even though I'm right, I have to chisel down my strong emotions, I have to chisel down my anger, I have to watch my mouth if anything productive is gonna happen. Like, you just saw the outrage. He's like, you guys are just creating narratives that fit your own whatever. You're just connecting weird dots. Just bet everything you have on me, you cowards, right? He felt so special in that moment. He felt, I'm the superhero. And then he got, almost his head rifled off. And then Levi kicked his ass. So through Levi, he learns that he has to calm himself down. And he has to kind of think a little bit more than he emotes. He can't just act purely on his emotion. He has to kind of think a little bit now. He learns that through Levi. So if you go back through the manga, or if you go back through the anime, you'll realize, or if your memory is just good enough, like mine, you don't have to do that. You'll realize that every scene with Eren, where he's with Levi, he's calm. And he's not, like, compare how Eren acts with Levi to how he acts with John, for instance. Or how he acts with Mikasa when she's babying him. When Levi takes him under his wing, he learns to stifle his emotions. He doesn't act up anymore, Through Levi, he learns that regardless of how he feels, he is humanity's hope. He has a special power, and he must use it to reverse their situation. There's no options for him. He has a sense of duty. But we do see, like, the reckless and the emotional, you disagree with me, let's fight about it. That's still in him. That fire is still in him. We see that with his interactions with John and Mikasa, right? But most of all, he's learned how to chill it down a little bit. This is also the arc of Eren where Levi teaches him, hey, you have to trust yourself, you have to be more confident, you have to fight with your own confidence. Do you want to act now? The whole choice speech, and yada yada yada. And Levi's speech here, Levi's mentorship actually is so pivotal to Eren's characterization, to how he proceeds through the rest of the manga. He doesn't get enough credit, and I don't understand why Hanji and Mikasa and Armin were like, oh, I need to talk to Eren. We can change his mind. Like, when Eren's in jail, why does Hanji go down there to talk to him? Imagine how different the series would be had Levi went down when Eren was in the fucking jail cell, when he pulled his hair back, man bun Eren, looking in the mirror. Imagine how different the series would be had Levi said something to him then. And then, during the final battle, he would have probably remembered some of the stuff Levi was saying. We could have had this whole clash of, ideologies, Anyways, pressing forward. So, the next arc of Eren is the death of ego Eren. After Levi tells him to trust himself, after he gets his confidence, after he feels special in his power, and he accepts his duty as humanity's hope, he has a death of ego. When he and Historia are kidnapped, he learns the truth of how he gained his powers, right? Grisha stomped the Reese children flat. Not only that, though, but he also can't harden. Right? That was the skill he was working on so much. And no matter what, he couldn't harden. And so many people keep dying for him. He's still insecure, but now he feels worthless and suicidal. He convinces himself that he isn't special, that Grisha was special, and that now he's burdened Eren with this power for some reason. It takes Historia and some, posthumous speech by Carla to bring him out of this, to bring him out of his depression. And then he accepts the fact that despite anything, despite any other true fact, he was born into this world. He is alive, he has a power that can help humanity, and he will use it to the best of his ability. He lets go of his rage, he thinks clearer in battle, he accepts help from Mikasa and friends without feeling guilty, without feeling insecure, and he matures up. He accepts the responsibility of his powers. He's still a freedom fighter, and he's still passionate. He just can, regulate his emotions better now. And this is all due to his death of ego. This is also the part where I think it's solid fact that Eren has stopped viewing the world as black and white, right? That was his problem in his first arc, right? This is the arc where he realizes that the world exists in cascading shades of gray. He had this idea of Annie, of Bert, of Reiner, of his own father. He had all these ideas that were just challenged and turned on their heads. And then he just realized, and it cemented for him, not everything is as it seems, and a lot of things are more complicated than they seem on the surface. So now we're at our final arc, Eren, right? The duty fulfillment by any means necessary, Eren. I'm gonna call this one. Now, this is where Eren self-actualizes, in my opinion. This takes place after he kisses Historia's hand and they finally reach the ocean. He realizes there is no freedom across the ocean. Not only is it the walls of Paradis, not only was it never the Titans, but it's the people across the ocean who are the biggest infringers on his freedom. They become his new target. He's learned emotional regulation. He's now pragmatic. He's less dogmatic. He's strategic, tactical. And now with his omniscience, he can be sympathetic towards the warriors for what they did. They were brainwashed. One of the points made in fellow YouTuber Volitious's video, which is actually the reason I created this video, I disagreed with a lot of the points he made, but there was one point he made that I was like, that is right on the money, and I've just never heard it put like this. He said that Eren was fighting against ignorance itself, and that was one of his motivations for the rumbling. When people talk about Eren's motivations, a lot of people say, revenge or whatever. I never thought it was anything about revenge. I thought that was quite obvious when he, grabs Reiner's hand, that this isn't about revenge, this is about fucking protecting the people, protecting Paradis at this point. Now, the fully mature freedom fighter Eren, with all of his mental priming by Levi first and foremost, make the choice you'll regret the least. You have to decide what's the right choice. Will you believe in your comrades, or will you believe in yourself? Right? With all of that priming from Levi, and then lessons he learned, he has to fight like Annie, he has to slow it down and think through things and not just act purely on emotion. With all of that, like, mental training, freedom fighter Eren decides that the only way to give his people true freedom is through ending all the ignorance, which would be ending the brainwashing, and the quickest and most effective way to do that is the genocide. It just is, and that's a fact. Now, I'm not sure if I said anything controversial, but was that a fair enough assessment of Eren's character? Do you guys all agree with me that that's the character we've been watching up until now? That's the character we've been reading up until now? Is that a fair assessment? If there's anything you disagree with, please tell me in the comments. I will debate you. I'm not kidding. But for the sake of this video, it's time to move on to our next segment. What a Jaegerist ain't. So before I get fully delved into this topic, I just wanted to say that I had to give my character assessment of Eren, because I don't know, I felt the need to prove that I know the character that I'm backing up, right? Like, that would make no sense for me to not understand him as a character, yet be so passionate about, how the events unfolded in this series, or be so passionate about the series, period, right? If I didn't know the main character as a character, if I didn't understand his character, why would I even still be on this? Like, what? But anyways, what a Jaegerist ain't. So where I think a lot of people get mixed up in regards to Jaegerists is they think that we first of all don't know that genocide is wrong. We know genocide is wrong, guys. Secondly, we think Eren is a homicidal maniac that just wants to off the world like he did Mikasa's kidnappers for no reason, like, whatsoever. Which, Kodansha Canon, chapter 139, will tell you, hey, that's exactly what happened. But anybody who's been reading the story with their brain on knows that wasn't, that's not what we've been reading. That's not true. Like, we have 132 chapters of Eren knowing exactly why he chooses every action in the story, knowing, literally, just having so much agency, right, as a character, having the strongest resolve I've ever seen in any work of fiction, like, that just transcended the manga itself, right? His resolve and his agency was so strong, yet in one chapter, that's all flipped on its head. Nope. I don't know why I did it, actually. Even though it made perfect sense for the character we've been reading up until this point. The character itself doesn't know why he did it. That makes no sense, but I guess, he didn't know why he did it. I guess he forgot. Another misconception is that we've self-inserted ourselves into Eren, and that's why we can't properly gauge his character for what it objectively is. Or that we just have this Nazi, anarchist, like, desire within us that we just want to see enacted, and that's just completely false. But anyways, going back to we self-insert to Eren, that's why we can't gauge his character. I don't see how those things are mutually exclusive. They're not. Why must we assume that the two of those things are mutually exclusive? We have reading and comprehension skills. We do. We know the context of everything. We read and understood the manga for what it is. We understand Eren's character. Pre-138, we just still relate to them. That's not hard to do. That's a false dichotomy. Either you understand Eren's character, or you self-insert. Okay, listen, this is gonna blow your mind. Maybe we self-insert because we understand his character. How's that? We relate to this character so much that we feel personally offended by the jester 139 makes his character out to be. Now, I can tell you why I self-inserted. I know what oppression feels like. Okay? And I know exactly what it feels like to be powerless to those systems of oppression. That's why I can self-insert. That's why I do self-insert. Eren Yeager, I feel like he kind of represents me. I do. I know what oppression feels like, and that's why this story is so good. You know, because it tackles oppression. It's a story about, like, one, quote, unspecial person becoming special, becoming humanity's hope to try to fight back against the oppression. And that's just not what this story ends as. But anyways, that's really off topic. Let's get back to what we were saying. So a Jaegerist is not someone who, you know, doesn't think genocide is wrong. We know genocide's wrong. We're not someone who glorifies genocide. We're not someone who just self-inserts to live out our Nazi, chaotic anarchist desires. That's not it. Another misconception is we just want him to be some kind of, like, Giga Chad, like, yeah, like, have sex with Historia, yeah, bang Mikasa and pass, yeah, he's, because we're incels and we're living our own sexual desires to do these waifus through Eren. Like, some of this stuff just doesn't even make, like, real sense. Like, do actual people think that way? I haven't seen any Jaegerists that actually think this way. So I'm thinking they're really few and far between, because the majority of Jaegerists I know are normal people. So what a Jaegerist is. Now this is my words, and I don't always know the correct words. So other Jaegerists in the comments, feel free to, like, chisel what I'm trying to say if it doesn't come across correctly. But what a Jaegerist is, in my opinion, is when I say I'm a Jaegerist, I'm pretty sure what I'm about to say is the majority of what we think, you know, us Jaegers. I mean that I like Eren as a character a lot. I understand genocide is wrong, but in the context of this manga, the full genocide is, first of all, a retaliation for years of oppression. And secondly, it's retribution also. It's the curse coming home to roost, obviously. And secondly, well, I guess thirdly, the genocide is the only way Eren can ensure that Paradis' future is not left up to fate, and that his friends live long, happy lives. Granted, they don't interfere with the freedom mission. As we get so many characters in this manga, Hanji, Jean, Flock, whatever the fuck, Eren, Reiner, so many people explain that this genocide is the only way Paradis will survive. So many people say that, right? So we're, the audience, with our reading and comprehension skills, we realize that this is fact then. And then, you know, we got the extra 8 pages, which proved it was fact. So, us in the Jaegerist team, we realize that Eren, what he's doing in the context of this manga, is right. It's the only way to ensure Paradis' survival. They've been wiped out. They've been diminished to, like, half their population on Paradis, right? And they've endured thousands of years of just fucking being in a cage, technically, you know, and then the Titans. And then the Eldians in Marley are just completely brainwashed, and they're subject to torture as well. It's just the only way to cure the ignorance that the entire world is subject to is the full genocide. And I think that's mostly what being a Jaegerist is, realizing that. Now, if I didn't have reading and comprehension skills, and I'd just been following this manga, just, carelessly perusing the pages just to see the action or whatever, and I never paid attention to Levi's choice speech, right? All the music goes down during that scene in the anime. Such an important scene for Eren's character. If I had not been paying attention to scenes like that, or how about even the scene where Eren loses his suicidality? When Carla tells him, hey, you were born into this world. You deserve to be here. You're special because you were born. If I chose to ignore those pivotal moments in Eren's characterization, this is an ending I could probably accept. Because there was no, the choice scene, whatever. Who cares? That didn't affect Eren at all. No. Psh. Eren learns in that scene, hey, I have to fucking trust myself. I'm the one with this fucking power. They're strong, but I'm stronger. I have to trust myself. Relying on my friends is not going to work. Just like Squad Levi. That scene, that fucking traumatized him. When Squad Levi died, he was like, alright, never doing that again. I'm strong. I have the power. I'm going to make a choice. And that's exactly what leads him to the rumbling. Only to 139, ooh, just kidding. Nope, I am trusting my friends to take care of this. Even though it went so well back during Squad Levi, right? It went so well. First time Armin tried to Tag no Jutsu somebody, prove right now that you aren't a monster. Right? Eren almost got his head shot off. All three of them almost died. It was Pixis who fucking saved them there. But no, Eren trusts completely. It makes so much sense that he would just trust it. Peace and blah blah blah. When several characters in the series have said, hey, this would never work. This would never work. Paradis, it's us or the world. Yet we're to believe that this character, as he's progressed to this mature, smart, tactical person, would believe in that shit again. As if the choice thing never happened, right? As if his suicidality hadn't been pretty much eased, right? Like, how are you going to be free if you're allowing someone to kill you? Like, I guess you're making the free choice to be killed, but then, ooh, rug pulled under your feet. It was Ymir? I just... What? I know I've already been talking about it, but how this all manifests to chapter 139 sucking. Everything that I've been talking about so far. There's a lot of gaslighting happening in this fandom, but I assure you, like I've said previously, reading and comprehension is child's play for me. I had a perfect score on both AP English exams, and that was reading and comprehension, like old ass, English, Shakespeare and shit. English ACT score, far past above average, right? Reading and comprehension is one of the few things I would say I excel in. And that's just some credibility. That's some ethos right there. That's not me fucking, look at me, look at that, whatever. I just wanted to say that, and then say that something is off about the way the story ends. And contrary to the beliefs of some, it has a lot to do with incomplete themes, unfinished plots, rushing, and it's completely out of character for Eren. If it just stayed in character for Eren, I'm pretty sure most of those other things would have been wrapped up, right? I'm not just saying, ooh, I'm a Jaegerist and I want to see Eren stomp everyone out. Eren, Eren himself said multiple times that he wanted to stomp everyone out. And, I'm not gonna be fucking petty, but malicious, I was gonna say, YouTubers, but no, I was gonna make this video as a response to you, but Eren contradicts himself when he's feeling guilty. Of course he doesn't want to kill Ramsay or a pregnant woman, but they are necessary sacrifices. He sucked up the sadness and proceeded with his rumbling, right? He's proceeded to fulfill his mission. He's a slave to freedom and his goals, to attain it. He's a slave to his ideology, but to no one else. And we get reminders of this the fucking entire series. Like, why is this guy lying? Sure, he can lie to other characters, but why the fuck is he lying in his own, like, mind? In his own, like, separate fucking inner monologue to no one else but his own self. Like, what the fuck? And not once in his own head is he like, oh my god, I'm so fucking confused right now. Like, until this final chapter. Like, what? We get the outbursts and the, oh, what was that? Oh, it's just a vision. You know, we get that, but we don't get, ooh, my brain is so scrambled. Like, oh, I can't even decipher what's what anymore. Because this guy is bringing Zeke throughout paths. This guy is sending his father fucking exact-ass future memories, but withholding some, you know? How does this guy not know how to navigate these things when we're watching him do it? It's a retcon. It is. I'm sorry. Like, throughout the series, it's so significant. This shit with the royal blood and the stuff that, ooh, Eren doesn't have royal blood, right? That's so significant. And the reason why it is because the founding titan only can, obstruct the mentality of a person with royal blood. We saw that with Frida. We saw that with fucking Yuri or whatever the hell. The War of Renouncing whatever the fuck. I don't remember what it's called. Okay? The Peace Renouncing War, whatever. We see that the whole point of Eren having the founding titan was that he could not be manipulated by it because his blood isn't royal. That was the whole point. That was why it was introduced in the first place. All this shit with the royal blood and blah, 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 blah. This person has it. This person doesn't. That's why Historia didn't want it in the first place. She's like, you think I want to end up like Frida? That shit took over her fucking soul. Because she had royal blood. That's why. That was the whole point of Eren not having royal blood. Hello? Like, if it were gonna be the case that, oh, as soon as he, like, connects with this fucking power fully, why didn't he go crazy in chapter 50, then? Why didn't he start fucking getting all these crazy-ass memories when he punched, the smiling bitch, or whatever? This Dina, the Titan. Why didn't he go crazy then? Why wasn't his thoughts all jumbled and rumbled then? Why wasn't his thoughts all crazy in the cave when Historia touched his back? And Rod. That's 2 royals. Why didn't he lose his shit there? Like, what? And that's not me actually asking why. It's just like, you know, like, what? I'm just confused as to why, like, in the final chapter, hey, by the way, the founding titan can actually influence someone without royal blood. So why was it established that, like, hey, like, it was beaten into our head, hey, she is royal blood, so, War of Renouncing whatever, he is royal blood, War of Renouncing this ass, right? Like, like, this guy straight up gets his head cut off, or shot off by Gabby, and could still expertly maneuver Zeke through these memories. But you want me to believe at the end that he was just a scrambled mess? And no, it's a retcon. It is. Like, my point is, I understood Eren. I did. I understood his character until it was retcon. So now no one understands him. Not even Isayama. Not even Armin. That's why he thanks him for the genocide, because he has nothing else to say to him. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking to. Like, no, like, no one fucking understands Eren now because the way the series ends, and that's weird. That's weird. How do we know exactly what kind of character, you know, the critical thinkers and the people who, you know, actually read the series, how do we know exactly what this character is for the entire manga up until this last chapter? How does that make sense? That doesn't make any sense. Here are my final thoughts. I just can't wait to see what's done for the anime. In my opinion, it's only gonna get worse. They're gonna take out or diminish the Eren telling his story of the plan scene, They're gonna probably add more, like, Aramika romance, or, I don't know. Maybe by now, Isayama thought of something Armin could say to Eren. Again, addressing what Felicia said about the interviews. I get it. What someone says in an interview, it isn't a promise. It's not. And people's mind can change. But please tell me how then did Isayama, how is he going around saying, hey, I have this whole ending planned out? Like, sure, he never said, I promise the last panel will be a baby and a father. But he did say that he had SNK planned out before he got to Kodansha. That's just a statement. Why is he lying? Like, okay, I made a video about Isayama and all of his interviews. Watch it if you want. It's long as hell. But why is he lying then? Like, why? And then why does he keep going back and forth between, like, oh, I planned it. Oh, it's changing. Oh, it's been planned all along. And then Kawakubo's like, no, he went with his original ending. Like, which one is it? Like, huh? Like, was it planned or not? How do you go with your original ending if it wasn't planned? And then if it was planned, how are things changing? Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But, what was I gonna say? I don't like how, you made it seem kind of like we were relying on what was said in the interviews, and that solely heightened our expectations. Like, as I said before, I'm a critical thinker, and I'm good at reading comprehension. My videos are based on the content of the manga. Rarely do I ever bring up an interview. Without reading any interview at all, the baby plot is still relatively pointless. Historia is out of character for it if it was solely to save her ass from being a Titan. Without any interview, it's obvious that Eren's character progression led to nothing in the end, and he acted out of character by not fulfilling the rumbling, or at least trying his hardest to, right? Without reading any interview, it's still pretty obvious that there was no mutual romantic tension between Eren and Mikasa, and you did get more of the annoyed younger brother vibe from Eren. That's the way he acted around her. It just, from the story itself, that's just how their relationship was written. Without reading any interview, it's obvious that Eren was right. Both Paradis and the world couldn't both survive. Rhino was right. Both Paradis and the world couldn't survive. Floch was right. Both Paradis and the world couldn't survive. Jean was right. Both Paradis and the world couldn't survive. Yet the Alliance still believes in peace, which I guess is in character for them. However, once Eren's true, quotes, intentions were revealed, now they suddenly believe in the peace on Eren's terms. Previous to that, they understand that killing Eren meant the end of the world for Paradis. They understood that. But after his rumbling, they're like, oh, okay, maybe now peace is attainable. Like, how? What? Also, how evil does chapter 139 make Eren? Think about it. I've been sitting on this thought for like 2 weeks already with no one to tell. Chapter 139 makes Eren so freaking evil. He brings all of the Eldians into paths and tells them, hey, I'm rumbling to keep you guys safe. He's lying right now, right? I'm doing this whole rumbling to keep you guys safe, to protect you. He lies to them. So why would he lie? So what? Because his intention the whole time was to make the Alliance look like superheroes, right? So why would he lie to the Eldians on Paradis that he's rumbling for their sake, when in reality he's just rumbling to make the Alliance look like superheroes? So now, when the Alliance kills Eren, the whole Paradis will be pissed. Hey, why'd you kill him? He was trying to keep us safe. If his intentions were really just this super duper hero, fake Lelouch ending kind of thing, then him giving the Alliance a reason not to stop him makes no sense. If he wanted to be stopped all along, why would he give them a reason, a really good and valid reason not to stop him? Hey, I want you to stop me, But I just want you to know that you stopping me is the end of Paradis, and I'm doing this for Paradis because the world will destroy Paradis. But I still would really like it if you stopped me. Wink. No. If he wanted them to stop him, his best bet would have been not to drag anybody into paths and not tell anybody his plan and just start rumbling, and they would have just all assumed he lost his mind. Instead of it being this whole debate amongst his friends. He's evil as fuck for that. Like, really think about it. He really made them the bad guys to Paradis by telling the Eldians, hey, I'm rumbling for your sake. By lying to the Eldians. Because he wasn't rumbling for their sake, right? He didn't know why he wanted to rumble. And yet, at the same time, he was doing it to make them look like superheroes. Like, did he not know? Like, did he know? Whatever. I don't care. Whatever. But the last thing I want to say about this is that you do not need to read any interviews to know that Isayama fucked up. Okay, anybody with basic reading and comprehension skills will tell you that chapter 139 is the oddest conclusion to any fucking series ever. I feel like even an ending defender themselves could come up with a better ending than the one we got. Okay? Even an ending defender could wrap up the themes better than this man did. That's why it just felt intentional. That's why we went through the interviews in the first place. Yeah, so you don't need to read the interviews to know that he fucked up. You read the interviews to try and figure out why he fucked up. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Velocious, sorry I fucking name dropped you and stuff, but like, you know, you kind of prompted, the things you said in your video made me think of this video. So that I wasn't trying to like call you out or anything. I was just, you know, I just felt like I'm gonna sprinkle my own opinion on this subject. Anyways, I just keep thinking about like what could have been, like if this series had ended in a natural way. All of the videos I'd be making right now, that would be nothing like the ones I've been making until now. I plan to make the most wholesome videos about this show once the series ended. And take my word for it, go back and look at the Thank You Isayama playlist. The fact that that's still there is just proof of how much I fucking respected this artist, Hajime Isayama. I really like planned on like making all these like videos, you know, since everybody always complimented how good he was at foreshadowing and how well he exposed and uncovered these and revealed these mysteries. Everybody always praised him on that. So I was like, I'm gonna make a series, and then like in that series I'm gonna make a video where I like appreciate the uncovered mystery. But it's like it's all pointless now, like with the way the series ends. Like I can't even do that and like enjoy myself at this point. So I never wanted to be on the like Isayama hate train, you know. I never saw myself being on the Isayama hate train. I just woke up from a nap, guys. That's why my voice sounds like this. I did half the video and then I took a nap and then I did the last half, which is probably why my voice is going to sound a little different. But yeah, I never saw myself being a part of this like Isayama hate train. Like when the series I can't even talk. When the series first ended, if you go on my Instagram, you'll see that I posted. I was like, thank you so much, Isayama, for your hard work. Like, after I finished reading it. And then I cried for, like, a while. Like, I put Red Swan on and started crying. And it was really cathartic. And then I was like, actually, I'm not actually as fulfilled. I'm just not fulfilled, actually. Like, I'm crying because I'm sad that it's over. But I don't feel like this concludes anything. Like, I don't know. I just didn't feel so good. And then you guys know the whole story. I went on YouTube and then I saw I Don't Know Anything's video and I was like, wow, validation. Why do I feel empty? And then like Apparently fucking the sales of Attack on Titan went down like a lot. So if the ending is so good or whatever, somebody explain that to me. Anyways, I know like no ending defenders are probably watching me at this point, but like I can't help but like poop on them a little bit sometimes, but whatever. I'm just trying to make this video 40 minutes. Oh, okay, it's at 40 minutes. Bye, guys. I might be back, especially when the anime starts shooting. I might... when the anime starts airing, I might have a lot to say, so this probably won't be the end of me talking about Attack on Titan, but for now, that's it. Thank you for watching, and to all, a good night. RIP.